An ancient curse took my daughter, I took her back. Finale. A story by user postmortem 33. Maria was all I could think of, and I wanted to get to the castle as soon as I could. It felt good getting out of the Wailing Woods. The ogre was powerful, but yet it couldn't match two kindred spirits. Victor wanted revenge on the Lazar bloodline, and I wanted to get my daughter from the claws of the vampire. Arya helped us defeat Igor the ogre, and so a powerful trio was formed. She was an interesting character right from the get-go. I had questions and concerns about what she was doing as a job, about the dangers that lured in the world. My family and I were always regular people, and before the trip, I never asked myself questions about the supernatural. The scenery turned to tall cliffs and we were getting closer to the castle. It stank of death and evil. The Crooked Castle was the grave of entire generations of vampires from the Lazar bloodline. For far too long they had terrorized the lands of Transylvania. For far too long the simple and good people here had suffered because of them. This was to end very soon. I wanted to recap what I had to bring back from the castle. Attila, the blind merchant, wanted his parrot back. The grievers wanted Emil's heart. Arya wanted his head to make a hunting trophy out of it. Victor wanted him dead altogether. I wanted my daughter back safe and sound, unharmed. I saw the decaying and decrepit castle. Its walls screamed misery and pain. Its window panes creaked and howled with sorrow and suffering. A crimson fog enveloped that necropolis of horrors as if to conceal its existence from the world. Atop of each of its four spires stood a stone gargoyle. Their mouths were open, large stone fangs showing. They looked like they had been turned to stone by some sort of existential dread that stood before them. A creaking and very tall metallic fence was surrounding the premises. It was rusty and eaten out by the passage of time. It felt surreal being in that place. It was probably the night I feared the most in my life. I didn't know what tomorrow would bring. Would I open my eyes back home with my wife and daughter and live a happy life? Or would I be forever roaming the earth as an undead creature? Like a wise man once said, what a horrible night to have a curse. The starlit sky bore witness to our mission. The moon itself looked like it held its breath until this was all over. I heard multiple howls in the sky. Looking up at the spire, the gargoyles came to life. Their screams of spite and hatred fueled their eyes with a bright red hue that instilled a horrible feeling inside me. They were all flying towards us. Arya shot a few arrows at them at an immense speed and with precision killed two. The arrows blew up exactly like how they did with the ogre. The remaining two landed in front of us. Growling, they charged at us with all their might. With a swing of the blade, I decapitated one of them. Ducking the other with a pirouette, I then pierced him in the back, the edge of the sword coming out through its heart. I needed a moment to get a hold of myself. These supernatural things that I have experienced were happening too fast. I didn't even have time to think. Luckily, Victor was controlling everything when we battled them, so I felt safe knowing that. Victor knew the place very well. I got in through one of the side windows and Arya jumped in after. Human skulls were used as candle holders. Their remains illuminated the whole ground floor of the Crooked Castle. Skeletons were chained to the walls. Paintings of the Lazar bloodline vampires were hanging on the walls. Each of them looked down arrogantly, so as if to let us know that they would always be superior to us humans. I heard someone talking. The hero has come, he is the one. He will take me away to a brighter day. The beast is asleep, the slumber so deep. Take off his head and he will be dead, it said. The last thing I expected to hear in that castle was this sort of childish poetry. I carefully followed the voice to one of the adjacent rooms. There I saw a parrot, colored red and black, staying inside a cage. So you're the one Attila wants back. Smart bird. Gorgeous too, I said. Your daughter is being kept in the next room, Christian. She is fine. The beasts who took her here are out of the castle to feed. The vampire is sleeping upstairs in the master bedroom. The sun will be out in no time, the parrot said, changing its tone to a graver one. I took it on my shoulder and moved on to the next room. Maria was there, looking out the window. She jumped in my arms when she saw me. Daddy, take me out of this place. It's ugly here and it smells really bad, she told me, crying. "Oh, honey, I missed you so much. Are you okay? Did they hurt you?" I asked. She told me that the beasts who took her needed young blood for their master. The Lazar bloodline needed the blood of a child each time they came alive, so to speak. "That will not happen. Before we go, Daddy and his friends need to do one more thing," I told her. I told her to hide under the bed for a few more minutes. I instructed the parrot to stay with her so that she would be less scared. I went to the master bedroom with Arya. "This is it, chapter. We are not to fail. We are killing the damned beast now, and we are freeing the village from that dreadful curse," Victor screamed in my mind, instantly giving me a mild migraine. I slowly opened the door and saw a very white, thin man with black hair lying in an open coffin. We carefully went next to it. I watched him and he seemed normal at first. "Die, you filthy mortals," he said, as he opened his eyes. He caught me off guard, grabbed me by the throat, and threw me into the far wall. I felt all air leaving my lungs and groaned with pain. Emil rose mid-air, his dark crimson eyes were like two death lights. He hissed, showing his fangs. He was ravenous, evil, diabolical. I remember I had the pistol Attila gave me. Arya tried shooting an arrow but missed. Emil slapped her, knocking her cold right away. I opened fire. I hit him in the shoulder once and once in the stomach. He screamed and kneeled. I shot him again right where his heart was. A swarm of bats entered the room and attacked me. Then they all formed a shield around Emil. I swung the blade and cracked it open. Emil was crying tears of blood. Tears and blood and blood and tears. I shoot him again and he screamed. "You disgusting beast! I will end you!" Victor screamed from deep within. Arya came back to it and shot an arrow in his back. Emil knew this was the end for him. We all did. He was absolutely powerful, but without having drunk the blood of the innocent, he wasn't at his strongest. I rose the sword high in the air and with a final fatal blow I took his head off. His body fell forward and his blood stained the floors. Arya took out a knife and started carving inside his chest, removing his heart. His filthy, ugly dark heart. I spat at his remains in anger and disgust. We took torches from the walls and lit everything on fire. The fire spread quickly and I grabbed my daughter and got out of that evil place. The crooked castle was crumbling. Flames engulfed it. It was the beginning of the end. I had everything I needed. The parrot and the heart. Arya had the head of the vampire. Victor had managed to kill the beast, thus putting an end to the curse that infected the village. Most importantly, I had my daughter back safe with me. We returned to the Wailing Woods. I saw Attila waiting for us. He started crying tears of joy when he was us. "You did it. You bloody did it. Ha ha. Oh my God. You didn't forget about my Nasdravan. It's been so long since I saw you, buddy," he said, petting the parrot. I gave him the gun back and thanked him for it. Without it, I couldn't probably stop Emil and I'd be dead. He hugged every one of us and he gave Maria a very old golden coin. He told her to take care of it because it was a magical coin and she will need it someday. Then I heard the grievers. I took the heart out and threw it in the shadows. "Thank you, this heart still has something in it, his crooked soul. We will torment it for eternity. Just like his bloodline did with us." A man hissed from behind a tree. Mother Medea waited for us back at the shack. Maria went to sleep and I gave her the sword back. I felt Victor leaving me and now he was just a ball of blue light in front of me. "So long, my love, we will see each other very soon on the other side," Medea told him. "I'll miss you until then," he concluded. Mother Medea set him free and sighed. She then put our food and we all ate like we hadn't eaten in a very long time. Arya left before sunrise. Next morning, Mother Medea took me and Maria back to the track that led to our home. My wife, Anna, bursted into tears when she saw us. We hugged each other and started crying and got back inside the house. "Where have you been? I was worried sick. What happened?" she asked. "You wouldn't believe it, Mama," Maria said. "I think that as long as we stand true to ourselves and not let the darkness take over, good will always win over evil. Even if we lose ourselves for a moment, we will find our way back to the light. If we believe in the good this world has to offer and live every day to the fullest, we will thrive. Good will always win.
That is the final part of this story. We thank user postmortem33 of No Sleep subreddit for the heroic adventure of Christian, rescuing his daughter Maria from the hands of evil. We also thank you, our viewers, on tuning in to this story and for giving your support to our channel, The Double Dutchman. To continue your utmost support, I kindly ask you to share and subscribe to this channel, and turning on the notification bell so you will not miss any of the stories being updated to your devices. And also, to extend your support, like and share this video, and comment down below on what you think about the story of Christian and his team. This is the Double Dutchman. We'll see you on our next adventure.